And so, Pepe, building off that point, you said that the Donbass is where the rules-based liberal international order goes to die. Could you elaborate on that? Why do you think that what's happening in the Donbass carries such significance for the collective West and its future?
Well, what's happening in Donbass perfectly illustrates what Alexander has just described. Let's say this is the microcosm that also represents the macrocosm, It's a proletarian resistance movement. Donbass, it's a mining town, like this little pin that I have, which was given to me by an extraordinary character in Donetsk who built a school in secrecy, so Ukrainian drones don't know where it is. And inside the school, there's a museum. And in this museum, which the kids who are studying math, geography, history, and languages in the school, they have a museum attached explaining to them the continuity of the history of Donetsk, which is extraordinary. You have a long exhibition about the Great Patriotic War. Then you go to the disastrous adventure in Afghanistan, where there were many fighters, Soviet Union fighters, who came from Donbass. And of course, what happened since 2014 after Maidan. And this is a sort of do-it-yourself museum parallel to the great Donetsk War Museum in the center of Donetsk, right behind the Shakhtar Donetsk football arena, which is this is the official version. So we have the DIY version, just like you have a sort of official shrine commemorating the children who have been shelled by the Ukrainians since 2014. And then when you go to the outskirts of Donetsk, on the way to the front lines, we are 5 kilometers away. We are in the third line of defense, 5 kilometers away from the front line. So you hear the booms like they are around the corner. The local people who live in this neighborhood with mud up to here, no water, no electricity, no public transportation. They have to walk 2 kilometers in the mud to buy their groceries, and they refuse to live their working class neighborhood. They know perfectly what is at stake. They build their own shrine to the children victims of shelling as well. So when you see the power of resistance, and when you see, let's say, this Slavic axis of resistance all over the front lines, from Kherson to Zaporozhye to Mariupol to Donetsk. I had one day hit me in the middle of the night. So this is the counterpart of the axis of resistance in West Asia. So what Yemen, Ansarullah, and Hashd al-Shabi in Iraq are doing to expel the hegemon from West Asia is what these people are doing to expel the subordinates of the hegemon from taking over their lands and actually massacring them, which was the original plan and was still the original plan before the start of the SMO, which was one of the reasons of the SMO. Russian intelligence had 100% certainty that there will be a blitzkrieg by the Ukrainians, supported by NATO, to basically conduct a massacre in Donbass. So, this resistance in West Asia and in the steppes of Novorossiya, they intertwine. And that's why those who notice that in the Beltway, maybe 4 or 5 intellects over there notice what's going on. That's why they're terrified. Because they see that this is a phenomenon all across Eurasia, the resistance against the unilateral order that Alexander explained so well.